Hello everyone, and welcome to the MSBA Board Report for the month of June. We are coming to you from Joplin, where this community continues to recover from the EF5 tornado that moved through this area on May 22nd. The destruction here in Joplin is unbelievable to actually witness in person. It goes on for miles and miles, and certainly the Joplin School District was affected tremendously. There is damage to a number of school buildings. 5 school buildings here in Joplin have been destroyed, and several others have been damaged. Right behind me here is Joplin High School, and you can see the damage to Joplin High School. It has been destroyed and ultimately will need to be replaced. And there is extensive damage elsewhere as well, as I mentioned. The school district and school district leaders here have vowed that they are going to get school started again in August, by August 17th, and they're also going to be having summer school here in Joplin. That seems unbelievable, but they are committed to doing that, and from every indication we've seen here, they're going to be able to do that. Our MSBA Executive Director, Dr. Carter Ward, had a chance to sit down and visit with the superintendent here in Joplin, Dr. C.J. Huff, and C.J. told us what he's been experiencing here as superintendent and how the school district is coping with this disaster. So let's take a look at that right now.
Dr. Huff, it's really good to see you again. We had a very nice visit just a few short weeks ago, and that was all about Joplin receiving the Magna Award, a national award, the grand prize winner for the relationship between the Joplin schools and your community. But CJ, here we are now, and just a few days after a devastating tornado hit Joplin, and now we're seeing a very different kind of collaboration. Could you just share with us a little bit about what is happening here in Joplin relative to resolving these enormous issues that you're dealing with as a superintendent of schools?
You know, one of the things that we worked really hard on over the last 3 years is developing that relationship between our community and the Joplin schools, and that goes back further than that. But my experience has been these last 3 years, and we've put some programming in place. The Bright Futures initiative that got the grand prize award at the MSBA conference has been an instrumental program in building that bridge, especially between our business community and our faith-based community. And our human service agencies, and that's paying dividends right now as we struggle with trying to meet the needs of hundreds of families in our district and providing for their basic needs. And so we're reaching out to those folks again, and they're stepping up. They're calling us. What can we do for you? What can we do to help out? And everything ranges from people wanting to write a check to bringing in donations, and we had donations arriving that evening, and can't even really put it into words. It's humbling isn't even the right word for that. I mean, I don't know what we'd do without them. And likewise, I think that relationship works both ways. And some of the things we're doing as a district right now is how can we provide child care for all these families that have been displaced so they can get their worlds back together. And one of the things we're getting ready to do is plan an extended summer school, something that's going to run from mid-June here on June 13th until the last Friday in July for any families that need some place to go with their kids. So we're working on some things of that nature, and then obviously our main focus right now is taking care of our kids and finding accounting for the status of our kids and our staff. And right now we have 100% of our staff accounted for, and 97% plus of our students at this point, so we're getting closer all the time.
CJ, when you were preparing to be a superintendent of schools through your professional education and work experience in public education, did you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that you'd have to deal someday with a situation like this?
No, it's pretty surreal. Sunday night, after the devastation, after the tornado blew through, my wife and I tried to get out of our subdivision to see what had happened. We didn't even know that a tornado had gone through at that point, and the power was off, and we knew something had happened, and got on the road and tried to get out of our subdivision and couldn't because of the damage, and then went the other way, and really the first significant damage we saw was St. John's Hospital and that entire area. And I've got one elementary school that was close by there. Irving Elementary School was completely destroyed, and that entire school community leveled. And when you're superintendent of schools, you feel a great degree of responsibility for all your kids, and then we went down Connecticut towards my office so that I could get my laptop. I knew we had to set up an emergency operations center of some kind and start following our emergency plan. And I'd left my laptop at my office because we had a graduation that day, and I'd been in there on Sunday morning early to finish up my graduation speech. And we left graduation at 5:20, and the tornado sirens were going off. And you know, I grew up in Kansas. I'm used to tornadoes, but I've never seen anything like this. And you know, as I heard more, and I knew that when I learned that JHS had been completely destroyed and FTC had been completely destroyed, and those neighborhoods and the families impacted, and you know, there's that sense of, you know, what in the world, you know, where to even start. And so on Monday, it was just trying to get our heads wrapped around the scope of the work, you know, on no sleep that needed to be done, and then you know, putting together a plan of action. We tried to keep it simple, and on Tuesday morning, woke up and said, we got to have school, and brought my leadership team together, and I said, school starts in 84 days, let's do it. And they kind of looked at me, like, all right, let's get it done. So we're hard at it, and we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
And we thank C.J. Huff for taking time to visit with us. As you can imagine, he has a million things on his mind right now. And I must say, after being here for a little while, Dr. Huff and the entire staff here in the Joplin School District are doing an unbelievable job of trying to get things back to normal as much as they can as they prepare for the opening of school coming up in August. The Missouri School Boards Association is among the organizations, many organizations, that have set up funds for the Joplin School District and for Joplin Relief. We are doing that through the MSBA Foundation Future Builders. It's called the Joplin Assistance Fund. And if you are interested in making monetary contributions to that fund, you can make a check out to MSBA Future Builders and send it to us. We will see that it gets directly to the Joplin School District. And folks, they are going to be needing assistance for many weeks and many months to come as well. I do want to also mention we have a couple of events coming up to mark your calendar for. The MSBA Safe Schools and Colleges Conference is coming up in early July, and also our MSBA Annual Conference coming up at the end of September and early October. Be sure to go to the MSBA website to register for those events. That wraps it up for this edition of the MSBA Board Report. So long from Joplin.